I bet you're unaware of one of the most powerful forces in the world. No, I'm not talking about an F-22 fighter jet or the buttons of your jeans after Thanksgiving dinner. What I'm referring to is a mother's love, a connection so strong it can defy space and time. Take Meredith, for example. Waking up on the hospital bed, everything seemed blurry and out of focus. She delivered a healthy baby girl earlier that day. Labor had been intense, and she figured she must have passed out after giving birth. She had no idea how long she had been out for, but she no longer felt pain. She was puzzled. Everything seemed quiet, and she was surprised she hadn't been woken by one of the nurses or her baby. She sat upright. Why hadn't they brought her in to feed? She called out, but nobody answered. Making her way across the room, she staggered and nearly fell. The room moved in and out of focus. Grabbing onto the wall, she held herself upright. But as she turned back, the room had changed. The curtains, the walls, even the floor seemed different, like she'd been transported from a hospital to a hotel. Squeezing her eyes shut, she tried to make the room stop spinning. When she looked again, the room appeared as it should be. The lights flickered as she made her way through the halls, though that was the only movement and sound. No nurses, no doctors, and no babies. Her heart pounded in her chest. She had to find her daughter. Moving to the far end of the hospital, her head spun once more, and everything blurred. The room shifted into what looked like a restaurant, though now she saw people, but they were dressed in a way she was unfamiliar with. She cried for help, but nobody responded. A couple walked in front of her, and she grabbed the woman by the arm. "I think I felt something," the woman said. "Maybe you did," the man responded. They both then smiled and went on their way, as if she didn't exist. Meredith clenched her fists. She approached several others, and they responded in a similar fashion. She grew angrier with each and every interaction, and the lights in the room began to flicker. What was wrong with everyone, she wondered, and where was her baby? Storming out the front door, she slipped on the stairs and braced herself for impact. But none came. Instead, it was as if she floated down the steps. Confused, she turned back to the building, and her eyes widened. The signage did not display United Verdi Hospital, as she had expected. Instead, the building was labeled Jerome Grand Hotel. You see, Meredith did not survive childbirth, but the love she held for her daughter kept her spirit tethered to this world, and she became one of the 9,000 souls said to roam the halls of the Jerome Grand Hotel in Arizona. The building served as a hospital for the mining town from 1926 to 1950, and stayed vacant until it was purchased and renovated more than 4 decades later. Since then, there have been reports of paranormal activity throughout the building, as some spirits, like Meredith, refused to leave. As far as her daughter, she did survive, and is now a grandmother herself. Perhaps when the two of them are reunited, they will move on together. Or maybe they'll stay in the hotel and torment the living until the end of time, or until the hotel closes, or is sold off, or becomes completely overrun by spirits. Wouldn't that be fun?